Hello everybody. So there's a bit of a confusion with how the route would work out on the old video, as well as I also have some new information I researched myself about this whole situation. So I wanted to make a follow-up video to kind of just go over some details because there's currently a community vote going on about if this should or should not be allowed, which I hope does not pass as being allowed. And it will end today, US time. So because of that, I thought I would make this little video going over some facts. So I'm going to be running some footage right here, and as you can see in the bottom left corner, it's going to have something with some information you might not recognize. So it's going to say current stage, and it's going to say stage, room ID, spawn ID, and layer. And this is basically using practice tools that you would use to help jumping over the game if you want to practice specific parts. But there's also a data viewer that shows you basically information the user normally would not be able to see. So you can see right here, when you first are beat to beat Ganondorf, and during the actual fight of Ganondorf, it's called G Tower Spawn ID 1 and the other ones are 0. Now, when you actually beat Ganondorf, it's gonna load the cutscene room of G Tower, which as you can see, Spawn ID 2, Layer 9. And that is basically as the game's way of loading the cutscene part of this room instead of making a completely separate G Tower room just for the cutscene, just to save some memory. Now if I'd skip forward here a bit just to the end of the cutscene when they're going up to the ocean, as you can see it changes now to end dummy with room ID of 0, spawn ID of 0, and layer 8, which is basically this part. And also, if I skip forward, because the actual credits does not load another room, it stays on this. And then all the way after that, when you get to, you get to C_E, room ID 44 or 0. This specific cutscene is a little bit special in how they made it, and it's kind of difficult just to load. Because it's actually like part pre-rendered. It's really complicated, but without further ado, as you can see, it loads a completely different room. And then in the end, after that, you get to the end text of this, and then you get the option of, hey, do you want to actually save a Game Plus file? Now, I saw a discussion about maybe it's actually the fact that when you do this glitch, the game is actually naturally picks no on the option if you want Game Plus, but it actually just skips the credits, right? You just skip the credits. And I heard a lot of people say that it's just a cutscene skip, you just skip the credits. Well, if I go through this footage right here, you can see that the room that is kind of glitched, if you beat Ganondorf again after performing this glitch, you can see here I perform the glitch, then I go up, I kill him again, and as you can see, it's actually in this kind of first room. And that's just because when the cutscene was supposed to play, you died, which means that the game never actually would then play this specific cutscene, right? However, if I load manually with my sheet tools, the exact room that you saw earlier from the next cutscene, the end dummy one, which is basically the one of the pirates, you can see that it plays. Now, you might think that's a good thing. However, if I use this footage right here, as you can see, if you actually watch this cutscene and then I load it manually, then as you can see, I'm going to get a similar situation to the G Tower one, the one you actually see when you do this glitch, where I'm actually it's basically playable in the cutscene room. So what this proves is that you do not skip the entire cutscene and the credits, and the game just favors a no option. What actually happens is that you just cancel playing the absolute first part of the cutscene, which means that you will never have access. The game will never actually have time to play the next ones, which means that the whole situation about some people saying that maybe the game just favors that you just skip the credits by doing the cutscene skip on the credits, and then you actually just favor getting the option no on Game Plus. That is not true, because you can prove with cheat codes that this cutscene has never been interacted with or played, just like the G Tower one, because if you manually put in the G Tower information, as you can see, it's going to give you exactly right here because it's already been played once. So this means that the actual ending cutscenes of the pirate ship the credits, as well as them Link and the pirates sailing off, and you get the end text, and then after that you get the game plus file, is never skipped. It's never interacted with, so this is completely untouched, which means that you don't actually skip the entire credits. You just skip, you basically just interact with just the absolute first part of the cutscene. Another thing I wanted to clear up is basically how this run works, because some people were a bit confused about this, and I wanted to give some more context into what this actual route change would mean, because some people are like, oh dude, 5 minutes, that would make sub 1. This is not any percent. This would, in theoretical terms, if this goes through, this would be allowed on all categories, but it would only have an advantage in a reroute and a big time save on all dungeons, and it would also be able to have a time save on 100%. Now, in all dungeons, some people are commenting this in the comment section, and some people are a bit confused. So what you would actually do is in the middle of the run, you normally go and watch the Puppet Cannon cutscene just to get the Mirror Shield and the fully charged Master Sword, because watching that cutscene will actually give you those items. You would defeat Puppet Cannon right there and then, because you can. You would go up, you would defeat Ganondorf, do this glitch, and then you would keep playing the game like normal and wait to actually complete Tower of the Gods as the last dungeon, because you went to Hyrule too early. And then the time would literally stop when you just enter this portal. So you would just be in the middle of the game right after beating Tower of the Gods, and this is where the run would end. It would just run by the game as being right here. So that's how the time save is, because then you can skip going on to Hyrule 1. So if this glitch was actually implemented for all dungeons, you would basically just hit time and then just be in Tower of the Gods in the middle of the game. You wouldn't have no like actual ending to the run. But yeah, so I hope that this information clears some people's mind up about if you maybe use the game favors picking the no option, and also clears up some thoughts about how like this would have an implication in the speedrun. But yeah, I guess we'll see what the vote goes. Hopefully, in my opinion, it doesn't pass, because I do not consider this beating the game. The whole reason this big confusion is due to the fact of, if you look at the rule set on speedrun.com, it does state defeat Ganondorf, and people on all dungeons is defeat Ganondorf and enter like each portal of the dungeons, right? However, if I would ask you what is the any percent definition, the any percent definition is beat the game as fast as possible, right? But if you look at the any percent rule set, it says defeat Ganondorf. And this is obviously a simple way to explain like what is beating the game, because I mean, like the any percent definition for every community is beat the game as fast as possible, right? So it's pretty obvious that the wording of defeat Ganondorf was just our way of explaining in a simpler term for people that that's beating the game. But then some people take that word literally. So I hope that after, like, no matter what the outcome is, I do believe that the next situation should be to be overly specific in the description of rules of what is and isn't defeating Ganondorf, like watch the end text or whatever in that nature from now on, just to clear it up a bit. Because I mean, if you scroll down a bit on the rule set, it says like time starts on file select, time ends when you hit Ganondorf, right? I mean, in theory, I could say right now, what if I start a save file on Ganon's tower I've already played on? I mean, it doesn't state that it has to be a new game on the file select. It just says file select. So if I just boot up a file in Ganon's tower, go up and defeat him in 2 minutes, I mean, I'm following all the rules. I defeated Ganondorf, I stopped my timer on that, and I started my timer on file select. It doesn't say it was a new file on file select. You kind of see like how, if you're really picky and you just kind of look for the loopholes and you just pick exactly whatever you want to see on the rules, I mean, it can be twisted in very many ways. So obviously every system can be abused. I hope that we can just be overly specific just to avoid a situation like this in the future. But yeah, without further ado, I hope this cleared some things up and also gave you some more information on how this worked. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And yeah, I will see you guys on future videos, as well as on my Twitch stream. I'm planning on uploading a lot more on this YouTube channel, So I'll see you guys in the future. Later, guys. Bye-bye.